On this week's episode of the Books, Booze, and BS podcast, we discuss The Christmas Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict. We also discuss the correct way to pick a book out while shopping, as well as Christmas traditions. Happy listening. Welcome to this week's episode. I'm your host, Mike Jakubowski. Today, I'm joined by returning friends Sarah and Lynn, and we are introducing Janine on her debut to the podcast. We're going to hear Janine's fun facts, and then if Sarah and Lynn want to join in and give an additional fun fact, they can, so Janine doesn't feel left out. So, Janine, let's hear, what are your fun facts you want to share with our listeners?
Yes. So I had to think on this because I feel like I'm not that interesting of a person.
Oh, stop.
But so as far as like my fun facts, believe it or not, but I actually missed a FaceTime call from a celebrity. And it was from Keke Palmer. So one of my good friends, she works for a beauty company, and her company was hosting like a brand launch, and Keke Palmer is their, I guess, the face of the brand. And so I got a FaceTime call from her, missed it, and then I called her back, and she's like, Keke Palmer wanted to talk to you. I was like, what? I was like, where are you? And so then she proceeds to send me pictures of her and Keke Palmer. And I was just like, I cannot believe I did that. So from now on, I do not miss FaceTime calls from her. But I also tell her, please let me know when you're on another celebrity side mission, so I will be ready. So my other fun fact is that my family is from a little island by the name of Nevis, and it is in the Caribbean. And I would say it's not very well known, but it's up and coming. But their claim to fame, believe it or not, is that Alexander Hamilton was born there. And they actually have a museum dedicated to him. So I think that's pretty cool. So whenever I hear about Alexander Hamilton, I say, did you know he was not born in America? He was born in the island of Nevis. Yes. So
learn something new.
Yes.
I did not know that. Sarah, your obsession with Hamilton, did you know that?
I actually did when she said the island. I'm like, oh, that name sounds really familiar. I feel like someone was born there.
Nice.
Because the first chapter of the book is basically about him growing up there.
Yeah.
And that's about as far into the book that I got, because it's a very big book.
Yeah. So if you guys ever want to go there, I highly suggest it. It's a sleepy island, but they have a beautiful Four Seasons resort with a really nice golf course. So definitely check it out if you need someplace exotic to go to.
Nice.
Lynn, additional fun fact.
Sure. So my fun fact this time is that I was proposed marriage to when I was 19 by the son of the Egyptian chief of staff of the armed forces. So basically the general of the Egyptian army's son. When I was 19, I went to Egypt, obviously, and it was in Luxor, I believe. He came over because he knew a bunch of our bodyguards that were with us. He had a conversation with them. Then he talked to me, and he then proceeded to show up at every single place we went to on our tour, including boarding a flight and joining us on our last few stops. When I came back to the U.S., because of course I've been dating Jesse since I was 18, when I came back to the U.S., I got phone calls from him at least once a month asking me to come back and marry him, pretty much up until 2011, which was the Arab Spring. So hopefully he's still out there. Food, you're my fun fact for today.
So, Sarah, you have a lot to live up to right now.
So mine is so lame compared to Keke Palmer and Prince. I was going to delve into a little bit. When I was a kid, I wanted to either be a writer or a cartoonist. And I still have a whole bunch of my little stories and drawings, and they're really adorable. I didn't become either, obviously. I became a graphic designer, which somehow I feel like fits into it a little bit. And I like to help, obviously, when writers need help with their books and things like that. So, a little background fun fact, I guess.
I feel like we need to do a spotlight post about your second grade artwork.
I know, right?
Yeah, let's get it up there.
It was not very good. That's why I became a graphic designer and not an artist.
You had the vision,
Actually-
just not the skill, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Although now, like, obviously your and Mike's friendship has always made a ton of sense, but it makes even more sense because when Mike was in grade school, he made comic books and illustrated them.
Yep.
No.
Not very good, though.
No, but they're fun to do, and it's very cute of us.
So, Monday night, everyone's favorite night to booze. What is everyone drinking tonight? I'll start with Janine as our newbie.
So I was actually taking a sip. So I am drinking hot chocolate with Baileys.
Ooh.
And for a little extra kick, I had these little chocolate teddy bears and I added them to the hot chocolate. So it's extra chocolatey.
That sounds
Ooh.
nice and festive for a December
Yes.
podcast.
Do you deliver?
Lynn.
I am having a rum cast bourbon in eggnog because I definitely have to use up the eggnog that I purchased for the snack this week.
Why?
But
Because
it's-
it made so much sense to buy a thing of eggnog for 3 or 4 tablespoons of eggnog.
I know. I was like looking, can I use heavy cream? Like, no, you have to use eggnog. But I have a rim of cinnamon sugar and maple syrup.
Ooh.
And I sprinkled it with cinnamon and used a cinnamon stick to stir it and then grated some fresh nutmeg on top. So I'm feeling very festive over here.
Yeah.
And it's very strong. So I'll just get more and more festive as the night goes on.
I love
All right.
that journey for us.
If drinks. Sarah.
I also have a spiked eggnog because I need to use up the eggnog from the recipe. Mine, I decided to go with amaretto and vodka in it.
Ooh.
And I also put some nutmeg on top to make it more exciting. And this is my first spiked eggnog ever. I've only ever had regular virgin eggnog, and I actually think I like it better with booze in it.
Same.
And eggnog can be heavy, so I guess it kind of waters it down a little
That's
bit.
what I feel like. It's more like, it's thinner and tastier.
Honestly, if I'm not baking or making something with eggnog, I usually get the light eggnog
Oh.
because it's not
Oh,
as
that makes
heavy.
sense.
Yeah.
I will continue and put the full circle on being festive with drinks. I found a random Cutwater espresso martini in the fridge, and so I just threw some of the excessive leftover eggnog into it.
That sounds delicious.
Yes,
And
I love
all the
that.
TikToks I see about people getting hammered on Cutwaters, I'm excited to see how the rest of this call goes.
Yes, they are dangerous. I can speak from experience.
I see these like posts all the time where people do like a taste test of all of them, and I desperately want to do it.
I think that sounds like a Sunday fun day.
Yeah.
I was going
Or-
to say, that sounds like a Sarah and Mike thing.
It sounds like a nice winter day when it's snowing outside and you need to do something.
Yep.
Yeah.
So tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
The baked treat of the week, we kind of alluded to it. It was an eggnog kiss cookie. I know that Sarah and Lynn made it. Janine, did you make it?
I unfortunately did not get a chance to make it, but I will make it this weekend.
Lynn, what was your opinions on the eggnog kiss cookies?
So they're addictive. I tried a little bit of the dough when it was going in just because I wanted to make sure I seasoned it correctly. I used fresh grated nutmeg because I'm bougie like that. And I wanted to make sure I didn't overdo it because a little bit can go a long way. And the dough was absolutely fantastic. When they first came out of the oven, I ate one and they were okay. And then I waited till they cooled down and they were actually really good. And I'm not a huge eggnog fan, so I was surprised by how much I liked them. I think at first I just kind of missed the peanut butter, but honestly, they're delicious. And this would be something that I could bring in for my son's daycare because it's nut free. It's relatively easy on the allergens.
Good.
So I was a fan.
You missed the peanut butter. What if next time you put a Reese's peanut butter cup in the middle instead of a Hershey Kiss?
I almost did that because I didn't have any Hershey Kisses. I actually ran out to the store today specifically for that. But I kind of feel like the peanut butter and the eggnog flavors would clash.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like just kind of keep it light.
Sarah?
I thought they were delicious, much like Lynn said. I tried a bit of the dough and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then what I'll say though, and so I actually made it for Thanksgiving, and my mother-in-law and Craig both said at the same time, basically, these would be better without the Hershey Kiss. And so then we all kept on taking off our Hershey Kiss and eating them separately. And I think the next time I make one, I'll make them without the kisses.
So I make them with hugs instead of kisses.
That's what I did. I used hugs.
Oh, that's right. You did.
They're in the picture.
Yes, they are in the picture. So like most eggnog flavored things, I found them delightful. I also love the recipe made 40 cookies, which seems like a lot of ingredients to make 40 cookies, but now I have 20 cookie dough balls in the freezer. So excited to revisit those in the future.
It made so much. I tried to have the recipe because she does mention that it's possible. But let me tell you, it's kind of difficult because you're taking half of a third of a cup. You're taking half of an egg. It's not entirely straightforward. So just make the 40.
Yeah, I froze them baked, and I think they're going to be delicious.
Interesting fact. Did you know, much like cilantro, people can get a soapy taste from nutmeg?
No.
Really?
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
We discovered this, I guess last year, but wasn't brought to my attention until this year. Brendan suffers from the ailment of nutmeg tasting like soap. So I made a different eggnog cookie last year. He didn't tell me he didn't like them. Then had this one and also didn't like them. And then he researched and found that out. So it's not a recipe thing. It's a him thing.
And many other people.
Yes. So I only know of one.
Is it related to the cilantro thing at all? Like, does he like cilantro?
He doesn't love cilantro, but he doesn't get the soapy taste from cilantro like he did with the nutmeg.
I feel bad for him because nutmeg, when it's done right, can be really good. Like in mac and cheese, where it just adds that like little background flavor.
I don't think I ever put that in a mac and cheese before.
But I could see that. Like if you were to do like a sweet potato mac and cheese or sweet potato ravioli and add a little nutmeg, that sounds delicious.
Yum.
So before we jump into the book, we always like to talk about our favorite bite of the week. So what was the best thing you ate this week? I will go to Janine.
So since we were talking about mac and cheese and Thanksgiving has just finished, mine was my mac and cheese and my sweet potato casserole.
I like they're both yours.
Yes.
Lynn.
So it was Thanksgiving, as Janine said. So my favorite bite was Thanksgiving leftovers. Now, for some reason, I absolutely love Thanksgiving food the next day. And my husband's family never gives out leftovers. So whenever we have dinner there, I'm always kind of sad. So I got invited over to a friend's house and was given as many leftovers as I want. And I was very, very happy.
We actually bought some puff pastry the day after Thanksgiving and made almost like Thanksgiving Pop-Tarts.
Ooh.
They were really good. Because we left a shit ton of leftovers. Sarah, what was your best eat?
So just going off Thanksgiving, stuffing was amazing. And I agree, Lynn, it was better like 2 days later and it was just so good. But I think my favorite bite of the week was I went to Doro and got the chicken parm on a croissant sandwich. And I'm still thinking about it.
Oh.
It was really, it was almost something I wouldn't normally order. And it was delightful.
I enjoyed eating the second half of that chicken parm.
I'm glad you ordered it so that we could split it.
Do they have it all the time, or was it just?
It's a permanent menu item.
Oh, it's a permanent menu item. I'm gonna have.
It was really unexpected, and it wasn't as heavy as I thought it was going to be. And their sauce, I have never had their sauce before, and it makes me want their pizza even more now.
So is the croissant like really dense? Because I always think
very flaky and buttery.
Really.
So it was a nice combination. And I think coming off of all of the Thanksgiving food, it was nice to have something different.
Yeah. Sign me up for that.
Yeah.
For me, I would say I'm going to give best Thanksgiving food and non-Thanksgiving food. So best Thanksgiving food was deviled eggs and stuffing. I've talked about enough in this podcast. I think everyone knew that those are going to be my favorites. Best non-Thanksgiving food I think I had in the last week were the new garlic cheese curds from Popeyes.
Oh.
Super tasty.
Wait, tell me more.
Yeah.
So like right now they have a meal with, I think it's their spicy chicken tenders with like a garlic parm seasoning on it that comes with a side of garlic butter cheese curds.
Ooh. Jesse would be a big fan of that.
I was a big fan of it. Not a big fan of the little cake that came with it though. It was kind of gross. It was like if a strawberry frosted donut went wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But everything else was good though. All right, so we're going to jump into this week's read, which was The Christmas Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict. Get a disclaimer per usual. There may be spoilers in our discussion. There will be timestamps in the episode description if you want to listen but avoid spoilers. Usually I kick off the roundtable to someone else, but I'm going to, before I go to someone else, we're going to address the elephant in the room. And that elephant being the cousin fucking.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I was so scared it was going to be Sarah and Gray, and it was going to be sibling fucking.
Yes.
I was terrified of that.
Yes.
So, like, when it finally came out, it was the cousin. I was like, oh, thank God.
It's still cousins. Can you imagine doing that with your cousins?
Absolutely not. But better than a sibling.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I felt something weird was going to happen because when Lily heard Sarah and the mystery person getting it on, I was like, there's only 2 people in this house not related by blood. And both of the non-blood relations were female. And it kind of made it seem like it was a man in the room with her. And so
Could
I'm
it
like,
have been Mrs. Castle? I mean,
I was like, it's either an unknown person or it's a family member. And shock, it was a family member. But we need to talk about how, one, Lily seemed completely unfazed by it. Like
that was my thoughts exactly. I did not feel like anyone was disgusted enough with this reveal because I was
immediately
horrified.
started Googling if British culture, if this is more common still there. Because I mean, I think there are. I believe recently our state just passed that it's illegal, or there was some sort of laws. I'm not sure what it was, but it was.
No, you're correct.
Okay. So I wasn't sure how prevalent this was across the pond for them to not be that freaked out.
Yeah, they were just like, oh yeah, by the way, they were together. Like, no one finds this weird.
I mean, in Lily's defense, there was a lot of reveals at the time.
That's
so that
true.
was kind of at the bottom of the list.
That's true. A lot of trauma. So it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was also just really uncomfortable because they made it very apparent in these books that these kids were raised together. Like, they're cousins, but they spent most of their childhoods together.
So how long's it been going on?
Exactly.
Ew, stop.
and not for nothing, I always felt like there was like a weird flirtiness with Tom and Lily.
Yes.
Did you guys
yes.
catch that too? And I was
just like, I was so hoping that the man in the room was not Gray, and I was so hoping that the author was not setting us up for a Tom Lily romance.
I think if things didn't work out with Sarah, it would have worked out with Lily.
Yeah. They were way too close.
I don't like it.
This family, there's so many layers of messed up. I think this might be at the bottom.
True.
But also, like, Tom was like a psychologist or a psychiatrist or something. So like,
well, he said he was.
Oh, that's true. Because Lily doesn't really like keep tabs on the family.
Yeah.
I did, up to that point, I appreciated the themes of the book around emotional manipulation and the generational impact it will have on a family. Basically, just the generations of screwed up relationships over and over again.
Yeah.
Joan?
Yeah. Especially with how it plays out with Sarah, because Sarah was just so wicked and angry and bitter. And it's all because she never felt like she got her mother's love. And she always felt like she was competing against Lily for that attention.
Yes, when
It really all
Sorry, go on.
started when they forgot her H when they spelled her name when she was born.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but when Lily was having that memory of being in the car and
Oof.
Lillian telling her daughter, like, you're not pretty and you're not smart, so you got to figure out something to get you along in this life. So she chose being a bitch.
I'll give you
Mhm.
the exact quote.
Mhm.
Life is not going to be kind to you, Sarah. You don't have brains, looks, or charm. You're going to have to use something else to get on.
Ugh, what a bitch.
So lovely. Everybody wants to hear that from their mom.
But
Yeah.
also within the same page of that happening was also Lillian pretty much blaming Lily for her mom's death.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Oh,
you didn't
yeah.
listen
no,
enough.
Lillian. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. 12-year-old girl definitely deserved to have her mother die because she didn't pay attention enough.
Right.
Oh. But again, it's that generation of just trauma. Every single person was just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
Except Rachel. I liked Rachel.
Rachel was
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
pleasant.
So we started to get into it. So Lynn, why don't you give your overall opinions of the book, and then if there's any quotes that or passages you want to talk about.
Yeah, happy to. So I actually read through this twice, and it was largely because I had the time, and in the beginning, I found it very, very dry. The descriptions were very flowery, and I kind of kept rolling my eyes at the discussions, basically the similes of everything being Christmas related.
Yes.
It,
Mhm.
it so it took me a while to get stuck into the book and really start to care what was going on, start to care about the characters. It took me a long time to really figure out who the characters were. So I wanted another pass through in order to kind of see it from a standpoint of, okay, I know what happened. I know everyone involved. Let me read through it again and see what foreshadowing there was. And I gotta say, the second time around, I actually enjoyed it a lot more. It was really well crafted and there was a lot of foreshadowing. Obviously, I'm gonna have lots of spoilers here beyond the cousin sex. So one of the things that I thought she did very well was when they found the first clue, part of the clue talked about a trunk, and obviously the trunk was the suitcase in her mother's wardrobe with the jacket in it. But as soon as they started talking about trunk, they pivoted to talking about the car crash which killed Tom, Ronnie, and Rachel's parents. And that was kind of interesting to me because they kept mentioning trunk, 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 and the dog was in the trunk. And it finally connected for me the second time through. And there are a lot of instances of that. I found that I really could not, I had difficulty relating to Lily. I'm a very loud, loud, assertive person. So her kind of quiet mouse, don't see me, don't say anything type personality was just very hard for me to connect with until the pregnancy surprise. I think that they actually talked about pregnancy and the kind of mental journey that she was on. I thought they did that very well, to be perfectly candid. Having been through that myself, I'd love to hear your thoughts, Janine. But honestly, the second time around, I liked it a lot more. There were a lot of clues there. There were a lot of every single character you could make a case for. And the sonnets, now that kind of I knew what to look for and kind of understood the themes and the descriptions, they made a lot more sense the second time around. But you did really have to suspend belief. Like, one, picking three killers, like I had three, I thought it might be Tom because he's the only one that wanted to keep Lily alive. To the point of protecting her. Obviously, Sarah would be at the top. In Gray, there was a lot of evidence and just sort of foreshadowing pointing at him. But to pick all three, like that felt like a cop out. Also, who's going to stay in a home with a killer? Especially when you are the top candidate to be murdered because you are pregnant with the heir to this entire estate. And I also just felt like there were so many dropped storylines, like the fact that she was pregnant with the heir no one cared and we were still just going to pursue this game. Also, people were dead and they were continuing to celebrate Christmas and like not getting help, not like banding together, not trying to do anything. No, they were just going to continue to sit there with, I'm sorry, but rotting bodies on the property. That it was just so bizarre. And like the point is there was no point to the game. There was no point to the keys. Every single key worked. That was the end. Like I felt a little bit let down from there. And then some of the thoughts that Lily had that I just kind of had a lot of difficulty relating to. Like she said, funny how yeast in champagne is good, but an infection is bad. That'd be another good reply for someone braver than her. Like, no, it's not. If you said that to me, I'd probably like give you a weird look and like laugh into my eggnog. I don't know. But to end kind of on a more positive note, I did like the descriptions of mother and child and kind of those connections. So one of the passage or the note from Lily's mother to her, may we never be parted. And if we are ever worlds away, let's tear down their walls till we're together again. I just, that really spoke to me. That is how I feel about my son. And that immediately I knew that there was no way her mother killed herself. So all in all, I enjoyed it a lot more the second time around. I just would have liked a little more thought put into the ending, I think. So also, what was the point of keeping Isabel on site? What was the point of keeping Rachel and Holly on site? Like these were just plot lines that went nowhere. And why would Rachel and Holly decide to wait until the 5th? Like in their note, they said they were going to wait until the 5th to tell the cops. No, people are dead.
Well, I think with them, like they were still snowed into the property, right? Like they couldn't get out.
Yes.
But
yes, they were hiding. Yeah. So I get why, but at the same time,
no,
it was just such a weird thing to put in there. Just let people think that you made it out and maybe you didn't. I don't know. It was just such a weird thing to plug in there for a game that really didn't matter. At that point, you just end the game and you let the courts figure it out.
Yeah.
And why the yellow polka dot ribbon connecting all of these things as I couldn't see that. Like I saw yellow polka dot ribbon at a crash site and therefore I knew they killed my mother. Like that was a bit of a jump for me. But all in all, I did enjoy it a lot more than the last book that I read for this podcast, even though I'm a lot more critical, but it's because it's a bit smarter. With that, I will turn it back to you, Mike.
And over to Janine.
So I agree on a lot of points. I mean, overall, I did enjoy the book. I did appreciate all the reveals and the twists and the turns, but I have to say that there were some things that I felt were a little predictable. You know, like you said, I had a feeling that it's either Sarah or Tom. And then at some points I was like, well, Sarah would just be a little bit too predictable because she's the obvious villain here. So I said, it has to be Tom because there was something about him I just didn't trust. But, you know, I did also feel like the ending felt a little, even though like it ended in a way that was kind of full circle, you know, the happy ending. She walks off into the sunset with Isabel. But I still had a lot of questions. And I almost feel like they should have dived into Sarah's, Tom's, and Gray's motivations a little bit more, you know, other than the cousin.
I agree.
I felt like that needed to be developed a bit more. And then like they didn't really talk about like Philippa's and Ronnie's concern about why they killed them, right? I think they mentioned that, he was going, or Ronnie was going to reveal them or something like that. But they never really said what about what they did made them targets to go first. The other thing that I was really uncomfortable about was how hungry they are with everybody dying. Like every time somebody died, Miss Castle had like a 6-course meal and like yeah, like so the first incident when Lily fell down the stairs and they're like, "Oh, she's knocked out. She might have a concussion, but we don't have our phones. Let's go eat." It's just like I'm like, "What is it with these people and food?" Like people are dying. So that part I thought was really weird. But then, I mean, I guess if you think about it, humans are strange. And when traumatic things happen, people usually don't act in the way that we would expect them to. So I kind of just maybe chalked it up to that. And then, the one thing that I also felt a little annoyed with Lily is that her inability to stand up for herself. And, when she talked about when they were younger and they were looking for the keys and playing the game, she faked not knowing the answers and just so she wouldn't be seen. And I'm like, girl, come on, stand up for yourself. Like, let's not have this imposter syndrome. And I guess eventually, the whole, as things played out in the book, she started to shed that exterior. But even still, I'm just like, why wouldn't you want to win? Like, who cares? Why are you letting Sarah bully you all the time? Like, come on. So, that part I definitely kind of started to grow a little weary about. My takeaway was like, this family is very twisted. There's so much murder in the family.
And cousin fucking.
And, and like I said, there were just a lot of plot holes that, I wish could have maybe been dived into a little bit. One thing that came full circle was in the end when Lily was finding the last key in the secret room. And then she realized that the house was built just like the Endgame maze. Like I would have wanted to know a little bit more about why that came to be.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It felt rushed.
It did. It definitely felt rushed. Like I liked it was going in a good pace, but like you said, I felt like the author was just like, okay, I gotta land this plane. I gotta figure it out. And then at the end when Isabel and Miss Castle like come out like surprise and they shoot Tom, like I was like, oh, Miss Castle was an assassin this whole time. Like why didn't she just take them out to begin with? But even still, like even I did enjoy the book. I thought it was fun. I thought it was entertaining. It took me a little while to get into it because it was a little bit of a slow start and I wasn't exactly sure where it was going. But, once it picked up, I was definitely entertained.
Sarah.
Perfect. I'm going to try not to repeat, but I feel very similar to what Janine and Lynn have said so far. It was an okay read for me. I read it quick. It entertained me, but I feel like it had a lot of potential and it didn't quite get there. I did write down early on that it was the perfect amount of spooky and creepy for me. I have the right amount of tense feeling. But I feel like the minute Lily got locked into that ice house, I'm like, okay, Tom's a creeper. It's him. Yeah. And from there, I just kind of got frustrated with Lily a lot. And again, I know it's a book. I know it's for entertainment. But if I'm Lily, I'm taking a bunch of food and a bunch of water, probably some booze, and locking myself in my bedroom, like barricading myself in to keep myself and my baby safe.
Not telling everyone your secrets.
Yeah, right, exactly. And literally Liliana said from the beginning that don't trust anyone.
Exactly.
Which, with how corrupt this family is, Aunt Liliana probably knew that one of the kids of the brother she killed might know something was happening. It was just a lot of putting people in harm's way for no reason. And so, like everyone else said, I feel like a lot was in the buildup and then everything was packed in at the end. I take a good amount of notes and to Lynn's point, I felt like I maybe should have read it twice, but I ended up taking a real lot of notes. And my last half page of notes is like, Tom killed Greg because he was going to go tell Lily. Philippa saw Tom and Sarah kissing. That's why she got killed. Tom killed Ronnie. And then it's like just a list of Sarah killed Aunt Liliana because of this and that and that. And I'm just like, this is almost silly how many people have killed people because of people killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of skipped the deer scene and gotten more into what the motivation of the killers.
Right, exactly. And once you guys said that, it was just, it needed a little bit more depth in that point versus just the uncle killed Lily's mom because she wouldn't sign on to it being a hotel.
which it eventually became anyway.
Exactly. And then it just made me laugh too when Isabel and Miss Castle were there the whole time, and like Lily was like, "Oh, that's why I'm sneezing, because the cat's here." I'm like, no. Like, and that's what you just figured out, but you couldn't figure out that Tom was behind killing everyone.
And it's not the dust, it's the cat.
It's the cat. I did have speaking of cats, one quote that I wrote down was Aunt Liliana at the beginning. She said, "Everyone has a home. It doesn't have to be a place. Home could be a person or a cat." And so on that note, I'll be the cat lady and leave it at that.
Oh,
I
Lady Madison.
liked that quote.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot that I was going to say has been said. So I will say a few things, but then like usual, I will go over some quotes that stood out. Most of them are going to be negative of these quotes I'm going to say. But before I get into that, I kind of enjoyed the book. It was overall a fine read. I found myself wanting to finish the book to see where it was headed, but also like I don't anticipate like recommending this book to others after reading it. A couple of scenes I particularly had problems with. One was when she was in the maze and she got attacked, and somehow she just happens to reach out to the one hedge that's hiding the key.
Yes.
Like that's so
The key that
unrealistic.
didn't matter.
Yeah, and it didn't matter. Then also, like, in the beginning of the book, when she's driving and she almost hits the deer, and the quote is, "When the car steams to a stop, there's no sign of the deer. Please don't be dead," she says in her head as she climbs out. She didn't fucking hit the deer, so why would the deer be dead?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And-
I could have skipped the entire deer scene. It was just so pointless.
Yeah. And then also, when she, now knowing it wasn't, but when she licked the dried blood on the coat,
that was
like,
weird.
What the fuck?
Again, they all have a few issues. So.
Yeah. She gave into her intrusive thoughts.
Right. And one last thing before I go into my quote tangent. I found it really odd that Lily spent 96% of this book wanting nothing to do with the house because her mother died there. But then a shit ton more people died there. And she's like, cool, I'm going to keep the house now.
Yeah. After it's been tainted.
And like not keep it to sell. Like she has like 86 ideas of what she could do with it. That was just.
Also, just a
Go
weird
ahead.
aside I noticed was that every single person in that book, except for the evil, most terrible character, liked women. Every single one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a little unrealistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know this book is supposed to be holiday themed. The author was trying way too hard to insert Christmas references that Lynn mentioned
Yes.
it would induce some serious eye rolling. So here are a few of my selected ones. Not soft flakes landing on the tongue like peppermint feathers. Her heart crumples like wrapping paper.
That was corny.
Lily's heart feels stabbed by holly. She's candy cane thin without any of the sweetness. Holly waves goodbye, her cheeks made as red as the berries of her namesake by a long-cellared wine.
Oh.
Lily isn't always great at picking up her sarcasm, but that one lands like Santa falling down the chimney. His worry for her warms her from the inside out, giving an oatmeal glow to her middle.
Like middle.
I didn't like that oatmeal glow.
Yeah, yeah.
With both of them looking at her, she feels like a Christmas tree whose lights have been turned on. Now, for a couple of gem quotes that aren't Christmas related. Family legend has it that when Gray opened his eyes for the first time, Robert, Gray's dad and Lily's uncle, had said, "His eyes are the color of a fish caught in Whitby on a cloudy day. We shall call him Gray." What?
That's how I named my son.
Exactly. Also, this makes absolutely no sense given that there's a fucking blizzard happening. His eyes are wide and as blue as the sky behind him. It's amazing that something so clear could yield snow. The sky's not going to be blue if there's like feet of snow on the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely felt like this author had never experienced snowfall in her life. She treated it like it was acid.
Yeah.
Lily can't see what's at the bottom of them, probably silt and several lost shopping trolleys worth of bitterness. Going off theme to a different holiday, he is clinging on to those like ivy to a haunted house. When trying to leave in the car, she's no tree surgeon, but Lily didn't think a storm could cut the oak smoothly in two. A tree surgeon. Hedgerows encroaching on the road like bad cholesterol. But some things I did like. Sarah, when she said, "Why should I share a toast when she didn't share with me that the house had a secret room?" What a random thing to be pissed off about.
That's just so weird. Yeah, Sarah's just the worst.
Also, throwing the books on the ground. We're here to find a key, not be librarians. Sarah, I knew you would like that one.
Yep.
And I, unlike Lynn, enjoyed the yeast and champagne is good, but in an infection it's bad. And lastly, what about the father? Was it IVF or a turkey baster, Bobby? So that was my tangent of quotes. Do we have any additional thoughts before we go into the questions about the book?
I think my last thought is just, this is not a holly jolly story, and that made the imagery really kind of stick out like a sore thumb. The amount of times that I've heard her compare things to raisins was just odd. This is not a book that will get you into the spirit of the season. That said, it does have its place. I just wish it stopped trying to lean itself into a Christmas story while dealing with cousin fucking.
Speaking of raisins, there was cruelty ran through Liliana like raisins, tea-soaked bread. So, with the book, I always ask, did you pick out any actors in your mind for Lily or any of the family? I'll start with Lynn.
So I definitely struggled here because Lily, for example, she was just so quiet mouse, just sort of plain stick to the wall type person. And that's hard to really kind of pick out an actress for. So I put down Keira Knightley for her, just given the fact she can play meek. For Tom, I went with Hugh Grant just because Hugh Grant can play a sleazeball pretty well.
Yeah.
Sarah, I said Lena Headey from Game of Thrones, basically because she can play a bitch.
And she fucked a family member.
And she fucked a family member. And then for Gray, I said Ewan McGregor.
Excellent. Janine, any casting thoughts?
Yeah, no, and same for me, Lynn. I kind of had like a tough time picking actors and actresses. So I didn't really, for me, it was more so, okay, how do I envision them in my head? So for Tom, I said Liam Hemsworth because I feel like he's really handsome. And I feel like Tom, in my mind, would be a handsome guy with a devilish charm. So that's why I chose him. With Lily, I kind of had two people I could see for the same reasons. I just felt like she was really meek. So I'm like, okay, who gives me meek? So immediately who came to mind was Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey. I thought
that's a good one.
She would be a good Lily. The other person I thought of was Amanda Seyfried from Mean Girls. I don't know if you guys remember her.
Oh, yeah.
She gives me kind of like that docile, quiet vibe, which I feel like Lily, anyone playing Lily would need. For Sarah, I picked Kristen Ritter from Don't Trust the Bee.
I love Kristen Ritter.
Yes. Love her. Yes. I felt like she could definitely play that cunning biatch cousin. And she has the look, she has the attitude. So I thought she would be great for that. And then for Gray, I felt like you needed someone who was kind of like quiet but handsome. So I picked Tom Holland.
Oh, that's a good one.
And everyone else, I wasn't sure who I would envision. So I just said they could just be, some background actors, some unknown people.
And before I go to Sarah, I honestly didn't really cast it. Right now, when I was just trying to think of it, kind of put for Lily maybe like a younger Natalie Portman.
Yes.
Mm.
And then for Gray, I was thinking maybe Danielle Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That would be a really good one.
But outside of those two, nothing really came to mind. Sarah, did you have anything?
So yes, Janine and Lynn get an A+ for doing their homework and having very good people. And I literally was just trying to hold on to keeping everyone straight that I didn't picture anyone other than really creepy cousins at parts. So I did not, and I tried, because I knew this question was coming, and I still just couldn't come up with anyone. So, but I like who you guys just said.
I also think like Lily or Natalie Portman often plays like kind of annoying characters. So Lily with her Christmas puns definitely would lend to that.
I think part of it is I kept on picturing like people from like, if you ever watched like Murder, She Wrote with your grandparents, like I just pictured like that type of cast where it wasn't really people you knew. It was just those, character actors.
I feel like this book would play really well on the Hallmark Mystery Channel.
Yeah.
Much like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe.
Yes. Lifetime Hallmark. One and the same.
All right, so
I'm going to cast Margot Martindale as Mrs. Castles.
Ooh.
Character actresses.
I like that.
Love it.
So has anyone else, you can just say yes or no, has anyone else read anything from this author?
No.
Sarah?
Nope.
And does anyone plan to read another book by them?
No.
So I would be willing to read another book by them because this is more of my genre. And I felt like this book had a lot of potential, but I did not investigate. But if this was like a book from the first book from an author, I would definitely read more from them to see if their style evolved.
So in her about an author, because I did the same thing. I like the genre. It's like one of my favorite types of genres. But I looked and she didn't have that many other books, but I did just notice in her about the author that she publishes under A.K. Benedict.
Oh.
And she's published critically acclaimed novels under that pen name. So interesting that she.
Then what's happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's true. Maybe like her other ones are more like cop murdery books, and this is more of like your.
Yeah, it was funny because I think she only had like 3 or 4 under her name, Alexandra. But yeah. Anyways, we can research her a little more. But yeah, I don't think I would probably read more of her because I do think there's so many in the genre that try someone else out.
All right, so Lynn's a yes, Sarah's a no. Janine?
I would say I'd be willing to give her another try. And now that you said that, I'll probably look up to see what other books she has out there under A.K. Benedict.
I know, and I would check out one of those too, I think.
I would go to her books and look at her Goodreads ratings and see which one has the highest to consider it.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of touched on this a little bit, but we'll just get a simple yes or no. Did you find the ending satisfying, Janine?
It was satisfying in the sense that there was closure. But again, I feel like they should have spent more time building out the backstories and filling some of those holes.
Lynn?
No, I felt like the start was so strong. It wove together so many different themes and storylines, and then we get to the end and just everything gets dropped and everyone's the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah?
Agreed. No, I feel like it got a little silly at the end for those reasons.
Yeah, and I will say I was not, and I'm just going to throw this out there. I have the book in front of me. I randomly opened it up. 176 pages took place over the first 4 days of Christmas, and the last 100 pages were the other 8. So that kind of talks about the speeding the ending of that book up.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've given our very, very forward opinions of this book. So I think it's time to move on to the bullshit section of the episode, starting with our first Christmas section of the podcast. So we're going to start with, what is your earliest Christmas or holiday memory? I'll start with Janine.
So for me, I would say it's more so just loving the Christmas tree, being enamored by the lights, and just having that feeling and anticipation of gifts. So I'll be honest, I don't think I ever really believed in Santa, but I pretended to because I just love the magic of Christmas, and I feel like that feeling has stayed with me from childhood.
Sarah?
Agree with Janine. Like, the tree is such a memory in my head, but my sister and I, we were allowed to open our stockings first. So whenever we woke up in the middle of the night, whoever woke up first would wake up the other one, and we would be able to open our stockings like in our bedrooms. And our parents would hear us giggling. And so that definitely, to me, our stockings is, to me, the biggest memory.
Lynn?
Peeing on the floor. So I was one of those kids where I just did not sleep Christmas night. I just couldn't do it. I swear I didn't sleep on Christmas night until like I was a teenager. So I was always very, very excited. My sister would also stay up and we'd whisper, and our parents used to yell at us like, you can't get out of bed, you can't leave your room, or else Santa's not going to come. And so I was laying in bed, and I think I was like relatively newly potty trained or something. And I had to go so bad, but I knew that if I left my bed, Santa wouldn't come. So I was just waiting and waiting and waiting until it was like I could not wait any longer. So I got out of bed and I ran as fast as I could to the bathroom, and I peed all over the hallway.
Oh no.
And so my parents woke up to me sobbing hysterically because I had peed the hallway, and now Santa was never going to come because I was a bad girl.
Oh no.
Your bedroom was so close to the bathroom, too.
Oh, so I was in the other bedroom before.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Where Meg's bedroom was. That
Got
used
it.
to be my bedroom.
That makes a little more sense. I was like, you literally had to like take 2 steps across the hall. I think I was probably like 3 at the time. Donna got me, I was obsessed with the cartoon Spot when I was a kid. I don't know if you ever remember Spot the dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my son loves Spot.
And I got on Christmas Eve, I got a Spot stuffed animal. And I immediately thought in my child brain that Spot needed a bath, and immediately ruined my brand new stuffed animal. Like that stuffed animal lasted it probably still around somewhere, but it was like a mess after that. It was like all like shriveled up and definitely looked well lived and well worn within like a day of having it.
Poor Spot.
Yes, I love Spot. I always try to give Spot gifts when possible. Sarah, what is the gift you remember most receiving from childhood?
So Santa always left our big presents in the basement family room at my parents' house. And so, we would open up a whole bunch of presents upstairs, but then we'd be like, oh, but there's one more downstairs. And the two that still I can picture it was when we got our American Girl dolls. I got Samantha and my sister got Molly. And when we got our Apple II computer, which as a computer nerd, like that was honestly the coolest thing, I think, was the computer.
Janine?
Well, first I want to say, Sarah, your parents are rock stars for getting you American Girl dolls, because that was the one thing that I always wanted and never got. So kudos to them.
Play with mine. I still have mine.
I love them. I still do. So for me, the gift that I remember the most, and this is going to sound so sad, I got leopard and gold pajamas from my godmother. And they were the ugliest pajamas you ever did see. You guys know MC Hammer and those gold pants that he danced in?
Yes.
That was literally those pajamas. Mind you, I was maybe like 8 or maybe 8 or 10 years old. So I wanted toys. I did not want to look like MC Hammer before I go to bed. So I don't know what possessed her to buy me these pajamas, but they still haunt me.
Lynn?
Especially you are older than I assume this was in the 90s, not the 80s.
Yes, this was the 90s. This was the 90s. And I was so confused. I'm like, I remember opening them up and looking at these gold shiny pants. And I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, are these curtains? No, they were pajamas. So I said, Mom, I think these are for you. And she's like, no, they're for you. And I'm like, oh, thanks. But yeah, so that's the one that I remember the most.
Lynn?
So the one I remember the most, and my parents did a great job of getting me what I wanted every Christmas. So I think the reason why I remember this one the most is because it was so unexpected. Megan is my sister. Meg and I both got helium balloons. So like the shiny ones that keep the helium for like weeks at a time. We each got one, and I had never been so happy in my entire life. It was so exciting. We played with those nonstop for like ever. So that's the one I remember the most.
Man, Barbara Scott got off cheap with that one. Best gift, the helium balloon.
I don't understand why they didn't do it every year.
Right?
I grew up and found out helium balloons are really cheap.
I would say for me, it was when my parents got us a Sega Genesis with Mortal Kombat for Christmas, because I think everyone growing up in the early 90s knew how many parents were against Mortal Kombat being a gift bought for kids. And my parents were like, fuck that, and got us Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it's funny because like
it explains John.
Oh, it does explain John. But it's funny because like that Christmas also, like I think Lynn and maybe Sarah know this. Like I have an uncle who is like estranged from the family, and I think no one's really talked to him in the last 30 plus years. I think like my aunt and mom started to kind of, but like John and I refused to talk to him. But that was the last Christmas we saw him. So like it's like, oh, bye Rick. But it's like, ooh, yay, Sega Genesis and Mortal Kombat. All right. Do you have any favorite current holiday traditions, Janine?
Yes. So I feel like I have a few. So for one, my mother-in-law, her birthday is on Christmas Eve. So we go to her house every year, and it's a birth miss for her. So we give her Christmas gifts. She gives us Christmas gifts, and her Christmas gifts are also birthday gifts. So she gets double. She makes Polish food, which is pierogies, mushroom soup, beet soup, and they have like a wafer that you break and you just kind of bless the other person. And for me, I just love feeling, that family and that connectedness and that joy. And the second tradition is a bit newer now. So I have a daughter, she's 4, and we started to do Elf on the Shelf last year. It is the best thing ever. I love.
You're the first person to say that.
I was just gonna say.
So many people hate it, but I just get a special joy of just thinking about what is the elf going to do to just cause mischief. And I think it's just, for me, it's just fun to see Zuri get so excited about it. She gets up in the morning, she's like, "Where's the elf today? What is the elf doing?" So to kind of help me with that, because time is also a factor, which is why a lot of people get, fed up with moving the elf all the time. So I found a kit that will help you create scenes for your elf. So in the midst of the things that I did last year, I'll probably use the kit and kind of mix it in and just, make it fresh for her. But it is such a powerful tool to kind of keep a preschooler in line, at least for a month up until Christmas. Because I'm like, the elf is watching, the elf is going to tell Santa. But it's for me, that's just fun. It's fun. She enjoys it. I enjoy it. So I'll keep doing that until she figures out that it's not real.
And how far in advance do you plan them out?
So I usually do it at least the day before. But this year, like I said, I'll probably be a little bit better with it because I have the kit. So I'll probably just like lay it all out. Like the kit that I bought is 24, it's for 24 days. And so it'll be a little easier for me to figure out what to do.
I was gonna say, did it start last night into today, or does it start tonight into tomorrow?
So I was supposed to start last night, but then I was tired and I fell asleep early, so it's starting tonight.
The elf is late.
So, yes, he's a day late, but it's okay. We'll make up for it.
And Sarah.
I kind of have three, I guess. So every year since before I was born, we do Christmas Eve with our family friends. And it's just, we always say it's forever Christmas Eve. It's our favorite day. Lots of fun, lots of laughs. So that's definitely my number one. But then now I really love, Craig and I both take off the week between Christmas and New Year's. And it's just a wonderful, cozy week of relaxation and seeing a lot of people, having a lot of fun. And then lastly, I love my book advent calendar that me and Mike do.
Way to steal mine.
It makes me really last night, Craig made fun of me because I was acting like a little kid before Christmas because I was like, I can't wait to open up my first book. And Craig's like, I've never seen people this excited about books.
Yeah. So I'll expand on it since it's also my favorite holiday tradition. So I think this is year 3, Sarah, or year 4. So every year we do what essentially amounts to a 28 book advent calendar. We do 25 days plus 3 bonus books. If you open a book and you already own it, you have a bonus book you can open up.
Mm-hmm.
So it ends up you get 28 books, but then we pair like something to go with the book every day. So it could be something boozy, something candy or treat. It could be like today, like Sarah opened up, it was a giant Santa bird pillow.
Yep.
Aw, that's so thoughtful.
That is very thoughtful.
But also
to me, I like it because we know this is what each other wants. And it's nice that it like stretches out all month and we know each other likes books and treats.
And like you should see like throughout the year, like Sarah and I will go to like library book sales and we're like hiding books from each other. So you know, see like what the other's buying.
That makes so much more sense because I was thinking this could get expensive fast.
To me, that's part of it. For like, I love I got most of his books, like they were like 25 cents each probably.
Nice.
And they're good, but like they're relevant books, you know, they're not old books, but library book sales. Thank you, libraries.
I was going to ask, like, do you guys ever put in some funny books or something that you know the other person would not like, just to kind of have a little joke?
Like a grunking to remember?
Yeah.
You guys spoiled it. I gave him the entire pumpkin spice series.
I don't know if I put anything like funny in there, but I will throw in a couple of horror books to kind of get her to read a horror book because I know she doesn't love them.
Which I do end up liking them. I just get a little scared.
When is it appropriate to start decorating for Christmas?
Wait, what about my traditions?
Oh, I thought I'm sorry, Lynn. I skipped over you.
No, it's okay. I know you don't want to hear from me. Whatever. No. So we actually started a tradition during COVID. During that period of time where no one could see each other in person and nothing was open, a lot of towns started putting out these maps for all the different houses that decorate. So for the last 4 years, this will be the 5th year, Jesse and I get hot chocolates and we drive around and we pick a town and we just look at all of the lights on the map. And some of them get really expensive, really bougie, really just impressive. And then after that, we stop off and get Thai food. And then we have a Christmas movie night at home. And it's one of my favorite traditions.
Is there a movie you always watch during the movie watching?
So I always want to watch a Muppet Christmas Carol, but we'll do Bad Santa or something that appeals to Jesse as well. And then now that we have a kid he's starting to get to the age of realizing something's going on, it's been really fun this year trying to start up new traditions and kind of seeing what sticks, what fits. So we did Winterfest at Powder Ridge, which was super fun. We did the Essex Polar Express. We're going to do Glow this weekend. But I think what he's actually likes the most is I started 2 different types of advent calendars, and I actually started one for the dog as well. Because she's a rescue. She's only a year old. She deserves to be spoiled a little bit. So, and in the evening, when the kids get home, everyone gets super excited, and Jake gets his advent calendars, and Valley gets her advent calendars, and it's just a lot of fun.
Oh,
advent calendars really are the best.
They are.
They are.
Does the cider mill do anything for Christmas?
No, unfortunately. I think sometimes they open up for like shopping for a day, but nothing like they do for the fall.
Kind of surprised by that. I feel like they would be able to make a killing doing some Christmas stuff there.
I agree. Like, just have some horse-drawn carriages and some hot chocolate, and yeah, people would be flocking in.
Supposedly there was horse-drawn carriages happening in Wethersfield this weekend that got canceled because of the rain.
Oh.
I never knew that existed.
I did see that.
Yeah, me neither. I did see it at Evergreen Walk last year in South Windsor.
I heard that Johnny Rockets reopened in Evergreen Walk.
No, I was there Sunday. I didn't see that.
Oh, maybe someone lied to me about that.
That would be great, because I love Johnny Rockets.
Oh, me too. Going really off topic now.
All right. Now, Mike, you can talk about your next topic. Now that I got to say my piece.
I'll throw it right back to you. When's it appropriate to start decorating for Christmas?
So decorating for Christmas takes a lot of work. Like, it's a full day, and that's just like getting the house decorated, not to mention the lights, not to mention the tree. So if I'm decorating for Christmas, I want at least a month of decor. And I usually do tend to start cleaning up pretty soon after Christmas. So in my personal opinion, yes, after Thanksgiving or anytime after November 24th, whichever one is sooner, in my humble opinion. And I will not judge if you start decorating mid-November by any means. The day after Halloween, maybe you'll get a little bit of side eye from me.
Janine?
Yeah, the day after Halloween is too soon. But I mean, I would say I started decorating early this year. I typically don't start until the day after Thanksgiving. But this year, I just felt like it was just a tough year. And I felt like I was ready for something positive. And, for me, the Christmas feeling is always something to look forward to. So I actually started decorating the weekend before Thanksgiving this year. So overall, I kind of feel like it's almost whenever you feel like, and for the same reasons, you just want to be able to fully enjoy it. And I felt like, hey, I really want to fully enjoy my decorations. I even bought new decorations this year, and I was just excited to put them out. So I say, the sooner the better, just not right after Halloween. Any time in November is a good starting point.
Sarah?
I agree. I believe people should put them up whenever they feel like it. Maybe not too soon, but we always do it the day after Thanksgiving because that's when our tree farm opens to cut your tree. So we kind of do it all that day, to the point all of our Christmas lights broke. Like, none of them worked this year. And Craig and I were so bummed out about it that I actually went to Target on Black Friday because we needed to pick up new Christmas lights because we had to decorate it the day after Christmas.
Brave.
We did pre-order, like we did the pickup thing, so I only had to go to customer service. And then also, Craig's birthday is early January, so things have to be down before his birthday.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to have it up for, like Lynn said, a full month. So
I would say we typically do it the day after Thanksgiving. I think sometimes we do it the weekend before. We did have all intention to do it the weekend before this year because we're on vacation for a week during December. So we're like, oh, that justifies us to start decorating a little earlier because we need to experience the decorations for longer. So my collection of Target Christmas birds came out and including the pillows, but the tree stood undecorated for a whole week until finally this weekend we decorated it. So I was kind of decorated for Christmas last weekend, but not really until like yesterday.
My tree is not decorated yet. I'm slacking.
No, but that's the thing. I think you can do it in your own terms.
Yeah, you still got time.
It's been busy lately.
Yep.
All right, Janine, best holiday flavor: eggnog, gingerbread, or peppermint?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say peppermint with
or
chocolate,
peppermint mocha.
Because Mike knows my stance on mint and chocolate. I am not a fan. So out of those three, I would, okay, if we're just talking peppermint, I would pick peppermint. But peppermint and chocolate is a no.
Lynn?
I will pick gingerbread, but I will say the winter Christmas flavors are nowhere near as good as the fall flavors. Just nothing beats pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
And apple cider.
And apple cider.
I love apple cider.
Sarah?
So I thought we got to pick our own flavor, so I wrote down almond because my almond Christmas tree cookies is the flavor of holidays. But now I guess I will pick peppermint because I didn't realize it was a multiple choice.
I will say I loved everything eggnog. When I was little, there used to be these eggnog taffies that I used to buy, and that's what I always thought about like Christmas candy was like those eggnog taffy. And I actually found them as an adult, and I bought like a 5-pound bag, and I'm still working through them like 3 years. I don't know if they're still good, but they still taste kind of good. But unlike Janine, I am a huge mint and chocolate fan. So peppermint bark, like peppermint mocha.
Bells.
Yeah, like those are a very close second. And who has started their Christmas shopping?
I have.
So I'm just about done.
Me too.
Excellent. I'm also about done. I have to like go through what is left, but I think I might be very close.
I also don't buy a lot of presents anymore, much to Mike's dismay. Me and my husband, we don't actually do presents. We do concerts and trips and stuff. And my family and I are similar. We end up getting like tickets to things. So I don't have a huge list to have to shop for. So I do feel like that's cheating by saying that I'm almost done.
Janine?
So yes, I did start my Christmas shopping. I started this weekend for Black Friday. And I'll be honest, in the past, I kind of took a pause from giving gifts. Like my siblings and I, we stopped exchanging gifts a few years ago. Now me and Greg kind of just do like one big gift for his sister, and then like his mom, like we'll buy her a couple of things because it's her birthday and Christmas. But right now, like Zuri is the star of the Christmas show, so most of the gifts I'm buying are for her, and then with like my mother-in-law and my parents mixed in.
No.
Yeah,
My family has a tradition. Sorry, go on.
I was just Sasha's definitely taken a show where like we do like Secret Santa as a family for like one gift for like one person is only responsible for buying one gift, but then there's Sasha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, my family has a good tradition that I think should be more widespread, where as soon as you have kids, it's okay, all the presents go to them. So, for example, I would buy Mike and B presents. However, they would only be responsible for buying Jake presents. And I think that just makes so much more sense because it is for the kids.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of Secret Santas. Like, I think that idea is just perfect because I don't need 10 different presents from my aunts, but I would love to get a thoughtful thing for one of my aunts,
All right. So that brings us to bullshit topic number 2, picking out books to read. So we're going to start with Janine. What draws you to a book? Is it the cover imagery or design? Is it the font? Is it a paperback versus a hardcover? Is it signage you see in a store? Or is it something else?
I am a huge hardcover fan. I love hardcover books. What draws me in is always the cover. So much so that what I do is if I'm in the bookstore, I'll take a picture of the book and then I'll maybe like look it up later on Goodreads or just kind of find like a quick synopsis and determine if I really want to move forward with reading it.
And that was going to be my other question. Do you look up Goodreads or Amazon reviews before buying, or is it based on your like opinion? But it seems that you are like most and probably do a little research.
Yeah, just to make sure it's worth my time. Because I'll be honest, like I don't have as much time to read as I did in the past. So if I'm going to read it, I want to make sure it's something. And I don't want any spoilers, right? I don't try to like dig into the review so much. It's more so, what is it about? Does it fit like what I'd be interested in? The other place that I like to kind of look for books is like Facebook group chats or TikTok recommendations. But yeah, I want to make sure it's something that I will enjoy.
Although there's this one asshole on TikTok that Brennan and I can't stand. Every book he hates is a book that we both love.
Oh, really?
And we cannot stand this man because he has terrible taste in books.
So you probably hate everything he likes.
Well, I love great books. Like Sarah, his list the other day, it was like the favorites, a bunch of Emily Henry's, Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Those are what he hated.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Garbage
Really?
man.
That's not okay.
yeah.
Lynn.
So I tend to choose my books on recommendation these days. So there's a large amount of a good group of people that I trust. Mike, you are one of them. But basically, if they tell me something is good, I'm probably going to read it. And I do like to go in as blind as I possibly can. The only thing that I would ask is, please no dead babies. When I was like 1 week postpartum, my mother recommended a book to me where the newborn baby immediately gets killed. I was like, I can't deal with this right now. So
Yeah.
warn me if there's going to be a dead baby or a dead puppy.
As I say,
But
same thing goes
otherwise,
for a dog.
Yeah.
yeah, also kitties. Just no dead children, babies, or pets, please. Adults are fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like to try to go in as blind as possible. If it is me just researching a random book myself, I will read reviews.
As I say, that my favorite author in one of his books, he actually had footnotes that said the dog's name and said, "Petey will not die."
Oh, good.
See, I need that.
And I think he had like a health struggle later in the book, and then there's another footnote. It was like, as a reminder, Petey will not die.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people on here, and I'm very open with it, we had infertility issues for a while, and I had a friend recommend a documentary to me literally days after I had a miscarriage, where the entire documentary, and he was like, you got to go in blind. You don't research anything. You got to not know what's going to happen. The giant twist was they murder the baby.
Oh.
And it was literally right after I had a miscarriage. So after that, I tell everyone, like, yep, you can recommend a book or you can recommend a show or movie, but just warn me.
Yeah.
Just a little heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah?
I 100% judge books by their cover. It's kind of a little bit of a joke that people know that about me. I am a designer. However, I think most books have great covers, but that will draw me to a book first. I don't mind paperback versus hardcover. It just has to be an engaging cover.
And I will say,
I was going to say, sorry. And I don't buy a lot of books at bookstores, so I will look it up quick on Goodreads just to see a quick rating. And if it's anything above basically a 2-star, 3-star or better, I'll definitely buy it, or I'll ask around for recommendations from people if they've read it.
So I definitely take cover into consideration, and I think Sarah's probably going to laugh at this. Supposedly, I have a font that draws my attention in. And Brendan and Sarah have pointed out, and like I was literally shopping in Barnes & Noble with them, and I picked up a book and they laughed at me.
Yep.
But to the point where Sarah proposed, I think it was like 20 different cover options for my first book. And literally all the ones I chose were with the font.
And I knew he would, but I just put a few different ones in just in case.
Nope. All the ones I chose.
It's just he likes either the big white sans serif or kind of the murdery handwritten-y white typeface, not sans serif. So it's just, basically his book cover.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I definitely use Goodreads when looking at books to see if I want to get them or not. There was one book, I was doing an event at Barnes & Noble, and there was a like $5 book of the month in their cafe. And I think Sarah's one point out, like, look at this cute cover. Mm-hmm. I looked up the Goodreads reviews, and like, I don't think it broke a 3. And I think I had to scroll like 4 pages before finding a rating over a 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, that's going to be a no. I don't care if it's $5.
But that's why it was $5.
It probably would have been worse than Pumpkin Spice Cafe because it was pumpkin themed. All right. When you look at a book, does reading the back of the book or the inside cover blurb sway your decision? Do you sometimes read the first few pages of a book? Or if you see an author blurb on the cover, does that sway your decision? Like if it's an author you like or don't like? We'll start with Lynn.
And if it's an author that I like, I'm probably going to buy it, regardless of what the blurb about it says. If it's an author that I don't like, I'm most definitely not going to buy it. I do like to try to go in as blind as possible, but obviously, if it's a book that I haven't gotten a recommendation for, and I'm just sort of shopping around by myself, I'll read. Well, what is it about?
Janine?
I definitely will read the back cover because, I just want to know, is this a topic or a theme that I would be interested in spending my time reading? Yeah, same. Like I have authors that I am partial to because I've read other books of theirs in the past and I get their writing style and I've enjoyed them. So yes, if it is an author I'm familiar with, if I see their name, I'll automatically get it. But if it's something that I'm not familiar with or an author I'm not familiar with, the back of the book is my go-to.
Sarah?
I usually read like half the blurb. Like if I'm like partway through the book flap and I'm like, okay, yeah, this looks good, I'm gonna buy it. I will just buy books kind of willy-nilly sometimes. And then when it comes to like the other authors' quotes, I try not to let it sway me too much because one of the other podcasts I like to listen to, the Nerdette podcast, they did kind of a little explanation about how those quotes get put on books.
Oh.
And to me, like sometimes those authors haven't even read the book. So I try not to let it influence me as much, but much like Janine said, if I see my favorite author saying how it was clever and witty, it does sway you no matter what. So I try not to, but again, if the cover's cute, we're buying it.
That's interesting you point out that thing about the Nerdette podcast, because I think sometimes I am swayed by author blurbs, but maybe I won't put as much thought into that going forward.
It was a very interesting, that whole podcast, everyone should go watch it. It's now over, but it's getting a startup soon, but it's a very wonderful, nerdy podcast. But that was a great episode, just learning about a little bit what goes into those quotes. Sometimes it's very legit, but sometimes, it's just in passing, oh, can you write a quote, sort of thing.
All right. And this will be a quick yes or no answer. Do you consider your current TBR book pile before buying another book? Lynn?
Nope.
Janine?
No.
Sarah?
I consider it and I ignore it.
Best answer.
Yeah, I definitely don't consider it. There's zero thought that goes into it. All right. And one last speed item before we get to our last segment. It's going to be favorite Christmas or holiday song. Lynn?
Even though it's controversial, Baby It's Cold Outside.
Is there a certain artist?
So I do like the one from Elf.
No, yeah.
Joey Deschanel does a really good job.
Yeah.
And I get why it's controversial and people don't like it. But for the time, it was very progressive.
Yeah.
Janine?
This is going to be very cliche, but I have always been a fan of Mariah Carey, and it's All I Want for Christmas Is You. And I never get sick of that song.
It screams Christmas.
It does.
Sarah?
So this is really hard for me. So I ended up going with One More Sleep Till Christmas by Kermit the Frog.
Oh,
such a good one.
It just
again, Muppet Christmas Carol is my favorite movie.
It is one of the best Christmas movies ever.
One of the best movies ever.
Yeah,
it is. It is, hands down. I had that on VHS tape.
Me too.
I couldn't come up with a song because I just love Christmas music. So I went. It is hard. I went to my Apple Music and looked at the holiday selections on there, and I just was, what is the most played song on the Christmas list? And it's an odd selection. It's the song Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson and Brett Eldridge.
Really?
I
have to listen to that.
It is a good song.
It is.
Janine, you'll have to add to your list, but that'll be the one plug I guess I'll give.
I bet you've heard it. It's Last Year, do.
Oh yes, I do know that song.
Yeah.
Yes, last year I gave you my. Is it? Oh no.
Yes.
No.
Oh yes.
No.
And does George Michael have a version?
No, different song.
Oh,
Different
okay,
song.
okay. I like that one too. Is it George Michael or Wham?
It's Wham.
Wham. Yes, I also like that one too. But I'll check out the one with Kelly Clarkson.
All right. Everyone's favorite segment of the podcast, rapid response segment. Janine, you're new. So essentially, you give your first thought response out loud to the item that's given to you.
Okay.
This one's going to work a little differently this time. So there's going to be a couple of multiple choice options. You have to pick which one.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with Lynn.
Oh, no.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Gingerbread chai latte.
Delicious.
Ryan Gosling.
Delicious.
Cookies, brownies, or cupcakes?
Ooh, cookies.
White or color Christmas lights?
Ooh, white outside, color tree.
The movie Bad Santa.
I will tolerate it.
Olive Garden breadsticks.
Delicious.
Lots of delicious responses in there.
Yes.
Janine.
Yes.
Peppermint hot chocolate.
Hate it.
Ryan Reynolds.
Cute.
Cookies, brownies, or cupcakes?
Cookies.
White or color Christmas lights?
White light.
The movie The Polar Express.
Love it.
Texas Roadhouse rolls with cinnamon butter.
Ooey gooey, delicious.
And Sarah.
Yeah.
Eggnog milkshake.
I've never had one, but I would like one.
Oh. Ryan Lochte.
No.
Cookies, brownies, or cupcakes?
Obviously cookies.
White or color Christmas lights?
White because Craig makes me. But it took a very long time for me not to say colored Christmas.
The movie Elf.
Beyond a delight.
Jay Gilbert's bread with the pastrami butter.
I don't like the pastrami butter. So, regular butter, delicious.
All right. Thank you for joining us this week to discuss The Christmas Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict.